Gunar, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us, what is it that you do?
So what I do is I develop the automated judging system that's used to check the correctness of the solutions that teams submit. And then I, of course, monitor that during the contest, making sure it all works correctly.
How does it work? How are the problems judged? And how much human intervention is required?
Right. So when a team thinks they have solved a problem, they will submit the source code for that, and that goes into a web interface where we take it and the computer compiles it, runs it on all the judges' secret test data, and then checks it for correctness. And that's fully automated, so they will have a judgment pretty much instantly from when they submit.
What are the challenges? Is all this easy, or what do you have to overcome?
So the basics are fairly straightforward, but then making sure that you get everything right and thinking about security and stuff like that. So you're essentially taking the team's source code, compiling and running it on your systems, where you also have all the secret test data and stuff like that. So you really need to be careful with security there.
What kind of problems can you run into?
That's a good question.
We don't run into problems. We have problems. We run into issues.
Ah, of course.
All right. What kind of issues can you run into?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Have you had any issues during this contest or other ones?
Let's see. Well, you know, the security solution can always be a bit overly harsh. So sometimes the team writes valid code that for some reason does something that we were not permitting. And then we have to check that manually, make sure that goes through and that it's judged as should be.
So how often do you need to do some kind of manual intervention?
Very rarely. So last World Finals, I think there was one. Well, we have to check everything that our security solution catches to make sure they didn't actually try to cheat. So that's a bit of manual labor, but it doesn't happen that much during the contest.
Moscow State solved their third problem and is up in 4th place. Sorry.
And has it always worked like this at the World Finals?
No. So earlier, I don't remember. 2009, I think, was the last year when the judges had to click on each and every submission, and then in order to instruct the machine to run it, and then the machine ran it for them, and then they had to look at the results and compare them.
So they compare them manually? Or was there some kind
I think they had helper scripts that made the job easier for them, but yes, in the end they were comparing them manually, whereas now that's fully automated.
Isn't there a risk that the computer makes a mistake?
So we double and triple check that, so we very carefully write the programs that look at the team's output, and it's much easier to verify that one small computer program that checks output is correct than to make sure that the judge does not lapse and miss an actual mistake when they're manually looking at it.
What have we now reached perfection in terms of contest systems, or is there more to develop?
Well, for this type of problems, I think we are at a fairly good stage in what the teams experience. That type of interface has been very stable for a long time now. In terms of what the judges can do in monitoring the that everything works correctly, I'm sure we can add more fun statistics and also more live feeds for the audience in general. I think that's where the main development efforts are at the moment.
Thank you very much for coming here, Gunar.
Thank you.